Good evening to all my wonderful viewers out there, and welcome back to another pickups video, the series where I talk about 5 pieces that I would love to pick up from a certain brand or a certain part of fashion. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing 5 first arrows pieces I want to pick up. Well, it has been a long time since I've done a pickups video, and I need to do more of them. I need to do a lot more just talking about, it's essentially just me talking about 5 pieces on a hypothetical wish list to do with various different brands or various different areas of fashion. And I kind of like just doing it just to talk to you guys about like what I have my eyes on and what I'm interested in, just to keep you guys updated, and maybe we can have like a, a fun little conversation in the comment section below about, either the pieces that I'm interested in or the pieces that you're interested in. And yeah, I really do love doing this series. I need to do it more, but it's only because I've taken a day off work today that I've found the time to do it. Otherwise I'm doing like drop list videos and streetwear talk videos, trying to cover like the latest Supreme and Palace drops, and yeah, it doesn't leave much time to do other things, but I do want to put some variation into the channel's uploads for sure. So I'd love to do more of these videos. So yeah, as kind of alluded to at the start there, I will be talking about 5 first arrows pieces that I want to pick up in the future. Now, First Arrows is a Japanese brand which does I would say mainly accessories. They definitely do like some clothing and some other goods, but it's mainly like leather goods, jewelry, various things like that. All handmade in Japan, all styled and all aesthetically based around the Americana look. More specifically as well, the Native American look with a lot of their jewelry. That seems to be a very common thing over in Japan, alongside, their love for Americana, but also their love for Native American jewelry and clothing and whatnot. It seems like there's a lot of people ever since the occupation of Japan with the US that has seemed to have stayed as a mainstay in Japanese clothing and fashion and jewelry. And I love it. I love it. I love Japan's reinterpretation of it. And I do love the original as well. And I stumbled upon First Arrows when I was looking at Goro. I was looking at Goro's jewelry, and I saw the price tag of Goro and I was like, that's too expensive for me. I'll have to go hunting for some alternatives. And I stumbled across First Arrow doing exactly that. And ever since I've done that, I've fallen in love with a bunch of their pieces. I've talked about them on the channel before. I've done a video where I talked about that they will be my go-to for Native American inspired jewelry, and I still stand by that. I stand by it so much so that I have bought one of the pieces that I'm going to mention today, which I know feels kind of it feels like I'm kind of shafting you there by doing that, but I know that I created this list before I bought the piece, so I don't feel as bad mentioning a piece in today's video that I know I've already bought, even though the whole series is based around pieces I want to buy and haven't bought yet. I know the video content backed up for so long, but yeah, I have bought one of these pieces and I'm definitely going to be buying more of them because the jewelry that First Arrows makes is fantastic. I'd like to go down the route of potentially picking up some of their leather goods as well. But mainly the jewelry is where I'll be staying because I just love their reinterpretation of that Native American style, and it just looks fantastic. It's going to look fantastic with a bunch of my capital pieces and a bunch of my summer wardrobe pieces. I can see it all coming together. I'm very keen to do that. So yeah, I'll be talking about the 5 pieces today. None of them in any particular order, but I could definitely do a part 2 and 3 of pieces from First Arrow that I want to pick up. So if you will like this type of content, let me know in the comment section below. But I'll stop rambling on about it now. Let's dive in. Let's start talking about these 5 pieces that I want to pick up from the brand. Let's start off piece number 5. Starting off with piece number 5, guys, we have this. I think it's beautiful. Everything that I love about Native American inspired jewelry comes together here. What we have is the feather. It says bungle. I think it's a mistranslation there because it's meant to say bangle. I don't know. It has L in brackets. I initially thought that the L stood for left and there was a right, but I think it's the sizing. I think, and I will definitely be making that determination before I was to ever buy any of these bangles, because the bangles come in small, medium, and large, and I'm definitely a large, looking at the measurements of a large when I went to their sizing charts. So I would like to find out that, you know, this one that is one size only is indeed that large size there, because if that's the case, we're happy, we're set, I'm good to go, I can wear that. If not, well, then I'll have to miss out on this piece. So I'll get some clarification around that, I guess, around the time that I'm looking to purchase my first one, but I thought I'd just mention what I thought it was initially and what I think it is now. And as mentioned, it's with turquoise. So if they're making the determination with turquoise, from what I know, there'll be one without. So you can most likely get one without a turquoise in it, and it'll just be the silver feather bangle, which would be very nice, but like I come here for the bits of turquoise in it as well. Yeah, size 34 millimeters. I'm assuming that is the width, because that would not be the overall length of the piece, but yeah, we'd have to see. 3.5 centimeters, so it's around about just over an inch in width there, from what I can gather. We'll click on it so we can get a, you know, slightly better image. Yeah, as we can see here, your wrist would enter in the opening here, and then you'd slide it, and then it would fit quite comfortably on your arm there, obviously depending on your wrist size. I really like the handmade detailing in this feather. Gives it that texture that a feather would have, but obviously it's made out of, well, it's not, I was about to say it's made out of sterling silver, but it's not, because First Arrows doesn't use sterling silver. They don't do 92.5% silver. They do 95%, which, you know, you're like, oh, it's 2.5% more pure. Yeah, but from my knowledge, the certain classification for sterling silver is 92.5%. So if you are more pure than that, you can't call it sterling silver, from what I know. But obviously, like, you silver fans out there might know more than I do when it comes to something like that. Yeah, I think that is the direct classification. So you can't call it that, but it is more pure than that. And then the 5% would be other metals to still make it, you know, malleable and workable, be able to craft something like this. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The reason they chose a more pure silver, from what I know, is that they like the aesthetic of that more pure silver further down the road, because it ages better, or it ages in an aesthetic they like more than sterling silver does. So that's just what I've read into, but maybe there's a different reason for the reason on why they chose 95% over 92.5%, which is more of the convention there. But going back into the design, as you can see here, I love these little like engravings into it to give that feather texture there. It's got that big turquoise piece right there. But one other thing that we have to make note of, which they have kind of highlighted here in this little separate image down below here, is that the area of the bangle back there is done in like an eagle's head. You can see the beak there, kind of there, as you can see there, and then like the eye, and that's the head. I just thought that was a really cool way of approaching it. They've incorporated the big highlights of Native American jewelry. They've got that feather motif, they've got an eagle being represented here, and they've got that huge turquoise chunk right there. I love it. I can imagine it on my wrist, on both my wrists. I'd love to have both. Probably would get some, would I get two of the same, or one here and a different one there? I'd have to think about it, but I absolutely love this one. I'd love to get one of them. It's very, very expensive though, so I'd have to save up over time to pick that one up, but it'd be a beautiful piece to own, and I'd absolutely love to own it at some point. I just think the details are fantastic here. And silver, that is definitely my metal. I love silver, so seeing like a huge chunk of it like this, I'm just like, wow. That's fantastic. I love it. It's an awesome bangle, and I had to mention it in this pickups video today. For piece number 4, we move into a ring, one that I really, really enjoy. What we have is a double feather ring with 18 karat. So we got 2 images that we can have a look at here, which I'm quite happy to show you. The first image, just how it is there. It showcases that beautiful feather detailing that they've done, that they've, you know, like stamped into it to give it that texture, that feather look. and then it connects around to another feather which has a little 18 karat gold. I think it's a sundial, but you'd be able to correct me if you know the motif better and you know what it actually refers to, but I think it's a sundial, but could be wrong in that assessment there. I really like this idea of like a double ring that kind of sits there. I would love to have it on like this middle finger here. I think it would just look really nice to have it like huge and big and just wrapping around my finger. I think it'd be a really nice look. I'll showcase it to you. It's worn on the finger that I want to wear it on in this photo here, which this is much better. This is what I want to showcase to you guys. So yeah, as you can see, it wraps around here. There it is there. And wraps around it lower, and then it's got the nice little 18 karat gold stamp in it. Now, you know me, whenever I talk about jewelry, I'm never too warm to gold. I don't think I would like a full set of gold jewelry. I think that's just too much for me. Gold is a bit too excessive, too loud for me. It's just not my thing. I like how it's done in this Native American jewelry, and I like that it's not overpowering the whole design and it's just like a bit here and there. I think that's where I really like gold, and like one of the few times where I'd be okay with buying a piece with gold in it is when it's used in the design. It doesn't overpower the design, and like you could very much hypothetically just like take out the gold and take out the design it's on, and it would still just be a really nice ring, which I feel is exactly the case in this scenario here. I feel like if I took that little gold button off and just had silver feathers as the ring, I'd be very happy with that as well. But yeah, I just think it's a fantastic piece. I really like the design of it. I like it how it wraps around the finger there. I really want to pick it up in the same finger that it's got showcased here, and hopefully further down the line I will, because yeah, it's just an amazing piece that I had to mention as piece number 4. Piece number 3, guys, we have a very lovely ring. We have the eagle with turquoise ring. Now, this came in a couple different design choices. One of the design choices, I'll quickly bring up the image. It doesn't really showcase it. If I can click, no, okay, it doesn't enlarge it. But around the turquoise itself, there is a little, I guess a little border around the turquoise. The other versions, that border was done with 18 karat gold, and I was very much on the fence on which one I prefer more out of the two, but I felt like I didn't want the gold to be like even mentioned in the design of this piece if I was to ever pick up this piece, and I think I just want the turquoise to be a big highlight on the body of that eagle there. So I prefer the one without the gold on it, but I do also like the one with the gold on it. But I think for me, if I was to wear it, I would like to wear it like this. And I definitely think the on-hand photos help me come to that decision. So as I was just mentioning, there's a little like border around the turquoise here. In the other design, it would be gold instead. The rest of it would still be that 95% silver, but yeah, just that border around the turquoise would be gold. I like this one more, in all honesty. But here we go. We can see the ring on hand. I like it. I don't know if it's possible. If I am to pick this up, I want to find out if I can flip it the other way, because it's cool having the eagle, face to me, but I would like it facing outwards, as if it was to like, fly off my finger or something like that. I kind of like that idea. It's just that I feel like it would work. I feel like there won't be any issues with that. I don't know. If I do eventually pick up this piece, I will definitely be trying that out for us to see if it can go both ways. I feel like it should be fine. I feel like it should be all right. But yeah, I really like how it like hugs the finger around the sides with its like huge wings. I like the little details that they have like stamped into the wings to give it that wing texture and like the curvature of the wings. It gives it a lot of life. It makes it feel like it is a bird. And yeah, I just really like the design of it. I think it'd be, again, I totally agree with the finger placement that they've chosen, like the pointing finger. I just think that's a really good one to choose for this ring, and just another reason on why I think I'd like to have it like pointing outwards, because when I point at something, the eagle's watching. I don't know. I just think that's really cool. I really like it. It's just awesome. I love the design of it. I hope to pick it up. There is other both brands and designs they have released where it's like a similar premise, where it's an eagle as a ring, but I think this one's probably my favorite one that I've seen out of all their designs and all their offerings. So yeah, I had to highlight it today, guys. Had to mention it. It's definitely one piece I'd love to pick up. I had to mention it as piece number 3. Piece number 2, we have another ring. We have the loop ring with flower, extra large with 18 karat. I really like this piece for a lot of things. There's a lot of details we have to go into about it, and I don't know if we can kind of showcases it. So the actual part itself that will slip onto your finger is merely just a loop. It's a little loop that'll slip onto your finger. Attached to that said loop is this huge 95% silver flower, as we can see here. It's got these huge petals sticking out here. Now, it has mentioned that the size is only 27 millimeters, and I'm assuming that's in diameter. Yeah, I don't know. I guess when it says like extra large, maybe that will be quite big. I guess the day that I decide to buy it, we'll actually find out how big this is, but I like it because I think it'll look really nice on my left hand here, on the middle finger on that one. I think it'll look really nice to have it as a loop. And then just have this huge flower just sprawling out. The 18 karat gold part is the center of the flower, where they've replaced the center of it with, again, that like sundial motif again. I love it. I love it. I love the design. I love the flower. I love the gold in the middle of it. I like the idea of it being like a big loop ring that you would put on, and then the flower would stick out. I really like the design to it, the big petals, everything about it. I love that each petal kind of like goes off in different directions and kind of curves different ways. It makes it feel very flower-like, you know. It doesn't look as it wouldn't look as handmade as you'd think it would be, because the amount of detail and direction those petals go, and it's just fantastic. Like, there's a lot of time and effort put into this. And yeah, I'd really love to see how it looks on hand before buying it if I ever get the chance. It's just really hard to find photos of people wearing first arrows and rocking it. So when I pick up, well, I already have picked up my first piece. When my first piece arrives, I'd love to showcase it too, because I definitely want to be a creator on YouTube talking about first arrows, because it's a fantastic alternative from what I've seen. We'll have to wait till we see, you know, one of the products. To some of the more expensive, you know, Japanese takes on Native American jewelry, and yeah, very keen to just get into it. But a fantastic design. I haven't seen another. Well, again, I don't really do a lot of looking around into the jewelry world, but I haven't seen something like this being done before, and I really like this approach to it. I like the gold sundial in the middle of it. It's just awesome. It's an awesome little ring, and I'd love to pick this up and put this on my left hand on the middle finger. I think it would just look really nice on that hand. Now this boy, as piece number 1. I love this design. I love it so much. I really want this one, but it's so expensive. Guys, it is very, very expensive, but wow, what a piece. What a piece. You got the eagle. Oh, this one says bangle. There we go. So it's, you know, it's correctly translating them sometimes. You got the eagle bangle with turquoise. Again, I'm assuming it means large. That's a pretty good guess, because there's other ones that have M and S in the brackets. So I'm pretty sure I'm right with that one. Size is 39 millimeters. So that's quite thick. That's, you know, 40 millimeter. That's 4 centimeters across. You know, that's pretty significant. It's over an inch. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Imagine this as a bangle. That would be crazy. It's got this, you know, the centerpiece that'll be on the top of your wrist will be obviously the eagle's head, the huge turquoise body there, and then its wings spanned around your wrist and like hold on to you there, with all the little feathers like coming out the back there, and the, I guess, the body and the neck and the head of it in gold. And it's just fantastic. I mean, if I was to order this, and because it's all handmade, if they were to say, Daniel, it's going to be 2 months before we get this to you, I'd be like, understandable, bro, understandable, because look at that detail. None of this is made to so none of this is pre-made. It's made to order, so you've got to pay and wait. And yeah, that's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be so worth it if I do eventually pick this one up. I do, like, as much as at piece number 5 I mentioned that I'd like 2 of those feather bangles, I don't know if I'd want 2 of these eagle ones, like for both wrists. I feel like one's enough. I feel like this is such a big piece that I want it on my dominant hand, which is my right hand. I think if I had 2 of them, it'd be too excessive. But years down the line, if I pick up my first one and say, no, I need more, then maybe we'll reassess then. But I'll show it how it looks on hand. Now, I think the model that they had, I think this individual doesn't have a big enough wrist, because you can kind of see there's a lot of space in between here, but we get the whole showcasing of how it would look. So here it is here with the eagle facing the individual. We've got it all there. I don't know if I would have it that way. I think I'd have it facing the other way. You guys in agreement with me on that one? Would you have it facing you or facing outwards? Again, I'm a big fan of this whole idea of like the eagles facing outwards, so I think I'd face it the other way if it would still, you know, look okay. But I think that would look really nice like that. And just like, yeah, look at it, shining, all that detail. That's crazy. That's crazy. Maybe I will pick up some like more low-key ones to start off with and work my way up to something like this. But I think it just looks fantastic. And that ring with the detailing down here looks fantastic. But, you know, we've talked about 5 pieces now. I can't go talking about this ring down here. But there is quite a few other versions of this bracelet as well. I think, you know, some with more gold, some with without the turquoise, I think it is. I like this one. I think this is a happy medium, enough gold, enough turquoise, heaps of silver, but that's definitely my jam. I think this is, yeah, the happy medium for me. And yeah, I'd love to get it on my right hand because I think it would just look fantastic as like a big bangle for my right hand. Yeah, absolutely. Just a fantastic piece. When I saw it, my jaw hit the floor. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my God, wow. Wow. It's just crazy, just absolutely crazy. But yeah, well guys, that is my final piece, the eagle bangle with turquoise. I really wanted to show that one to you guys. I think it's just such a fantastic piece. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of the 5 pieces that I mentioned. Are you a fan of this Native American inspired jewelry? Do you like it? Do you prefer, I mean, obviously we all have different tastes, so maybe if you don't like this Native American style jewelry, then it's just completely not for you. But I want to hear, do you like this type of stuff? Do you not like this type of stuff? Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the 5 pieces that I've picked from First Arrows, or your thoughts on just the jewelry and brand in general, down in that comment section below. Well, that is all the 5 pieces highlighted, guys. I could talk about all the individual pieces for many more hours and just the brand in general, and so many more pieces as well. But I want to try and keep it as short as possible. Yeah, there's a lot of just beautiful bits of jewelry that the brand makes. I'd love to wear. I'd love to have, like, ideally, give me all the money in the world, I would love to have a collection of chrome hearts, more centered around my like streetwear outfits and whatnot and things like that. And then when I have my capital piece on, the more American styled outfits, would love to bring out the First Arrows jewelry with that. And I think moving forward, if I get like enough First Arrows before I get chrome hearts, maybe my First Arrows will become my, you know, my everyday wear, and then I'll bring out the chrome hearts instead of how it's probably going to be initially, where it'll be like chrome hearts and then I'll bring out the First Arrows, you know. It might switch it up, and I think the reason for that is just accessibility. Like, it's so much easier to buy First Arrows piece than it is a chrome hearts piece, and to find it in my size, like comparatively, I go to the First Arrows store, the piece I want, I buy it in the size I want, they make it for a month, and then it gets sent. Versus chrome hearts, I gotta find it in my size, I gotta find it for a price that I like, I've gotta find someone who wants to ship to Australia. Like, there's just so many more accessibility difficulties in regards to that. So yeah, I think that's why I'm saying that I probably will go down the First Arrows pathway more because of that, because the accessibility factor. But we'll just have to see. Who knows what the future has in store for us. I'm definitely keen to still pick up from both brands, but I was very happy to talk about First Arrows again on the channel today and highlight 5 pieces to you. And if you want more of that, Definitely let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to have a conversation with you guys. What are 5, I'm going to say the first arrow, jewelry, or just fashion pieces in general that you guys are looking to pick up? Are you looking to pick up a lot more rings, a lot more necklaces, a lot more, maybe a specific brand? You know, maybe you really like the aesthetics of a certain brand. Let me know what your top 5, well, I shouldn't say top 5, but 5 pickups that you're looking to pick up down in that comment section below. And of course, if you guys want me to keep covering, you know, pieces I want to pick up from various brands, various sections of fashion, you just got to give me the 3 indicators I won't shut up about, which is a like on this video, a comment in that comment section down below, and the best indicator of them all, subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you haven't already. As mentioned in previous uploads, we're trying to hit the subscriber milestone of 3,645 subscribers before the end of May. We are very close, guys, and I think, you know, if you tell 2 mates, they tell 2 mates, they tell a couple more mates, I reckon we'll hit 3,645 before the end of the month. But that's everything I got to say about these 5 pieces, or at least if I was, you know, stopping myself. If not, then I could talk about them forever. I will happily do a part 2 if you ask me. I'll probably do it even if you don't ask me, but we'll see what happens. Or maybe, you know, if you want me to do a certain brand or a certain other area of fashion, let me know. I can definitely do a video about, you know, different brands or different areas of fashion that I want to pick up from as well. But yeah, until the next streetwear talk video, until the next pickups video, until the next first arrows video, guys, I'll catch you later.